Good afternoon, everyone. Tommy Grisafi, Ag Bull Media, Ag Bull Trading, Ag Bull Podcast. We got a lot of Ag Bulls here. I'm down in Valparaiso, Indiana, or as my friend likes to say, in my mother's basement here. We got the Nesvik Trading logo behind me. That's where I clear my trades through. I am an associate person of Nesvik Trading Group. We just announced earlier, we got a new podcast coming out. Mr. Mike Sands, we're calling it Fat Tuesday. And that is no relationship to this next guy we're introducing to you. But he's got me laughing. He said something off the script so doggone funny. He got me cracking up. So that's funny. Anyway, we won't tell him what you said because it's just too good. All right.
How you doing, Tommy?
I'm doing well. We have lots to talk about. And sometimes you and I plan these better than others. This one's a little unscripted, as they like to say. I want to talk to you about cattle. We had or have the most dynamic cattle market we've ever had. And now there's like these rumblings coming out of the USDA. None of us quite know, but the Twitter X is just blowing up on speculation of what it could be. It may be nothing. It may be a nothing burger, but I think there's something behind it. What are you hearing, Don?
Again, just rumors at this point. We're looking for something official from USDA, but there's been some quotes attributed to the Ag Secretary about some type of incentives to rebuild that cattle herd. I'm not exactly sure how that would work. Cattle industry isn't quite like we're used to seeing some of the relief payments maybe we have in the grain sector, but it does have the market, or at least the rumor mill churning anyway.
Yeah. Now let's go back to, that was just today. Let's go back to yesterday, and that was yesterday too. But people thought the market moved up yesterday because of the screwworm. I don't think it had very much to do with Mexico and the screwworm. I think it had way more to do with her comments that were buried about paying ranchers to retain heifers, which would massively make the back months bullish. Yesterday in the feeder cattle, 3 of the back months finished limit up, but then we do have the screwworm. Now, the gentleman from Texas, who's the Sid? The
Sid
Texas,
Miller,
yeah. He was on today.
Texas.
Yeah, he's sharp. And what he said was, this is scary as hell, Don. He said, yes, there was a screwworm 70 miles from the border, but you take where all the screwworm cases are, 300 miles south of the border, cases have went up 50%. Have you heard anything like that?
Certainly, we haven't gotten this thing handled. They're looking at trying to amp up the sterile flies that they need to try and get rid of this pest. The National Cattlemen's Beef Association has come out with a statement supporting the Trump administration, supporting all the work that Rollins has done. But because of this new case, just an hour south of the border, they are saying that they'd like EPA to expedite having pesticides available that may be able to control this insect. They want USDA to step up, expedite the building of this facility. They've got this 5-pronged plan that is in place to deal with New World screwworm, and one of them is to build this domestic sterile fly facility. They want to get that amped up. There's obviously a lot of concern, and they're trying to light the fire, I think, a little bit under the administration on this one.
Yeah. You want to see what the cattle pits looked like yesterday? What the trade looked like? This is what it looked like. No, this is every day in these cattle. It's crazy. All right. In all seriousness, let's talk markets. Well, we were being serious, but I asked you some hard questions that I knew weren't answerable, and I could briefly see you were uncomfortable. That's what you've been doing to people for 40 years, asking the hard questions, but you're not you don't try to stump people, I know, but I knew what I did to you there. I was laughing, but you did well. You did really well.
I'd rather be on the other side of the microphone. That's for darn sure.
I was laughing there because I knew, like, we don't know, but I had a young rancher from North Dakota just call me. He said, what do you think I should do? And this is the actionable thing here. If you're involved in this cattle industry and prices are at record highs and they're exploding, the fact you can do LRP insurance is amazing. The fact you can protect a calf that's not born yet through a government policy, I think, is pretty damn cool. So if you need help with that, you can give us a call. I have plenty of friends over at Nesvik who are qualified to sell LRP. I'll pop up my number right there, 1-855-737-FARM. I really think that this is a chance. You always say, I'm going to protect them. I'm going to do this. Listen, you got to do it while the market's going up. Don, you know as well as I do, once this market starts to come down,
it comes down like a rocket. Yeah.
Yeah, and we saw this in spring wheat or any of these other things. Real quick on the headline news, we're not getting much done with this guy, are we?
No, there was a phone call obviously on Friday between Trump and Xi. They talked about TikTok primarily. Trump mentioned trade in his post on Truth Social, but no reference to soybeans. And I think that had particularly the soybean market, somewhat disappointed just because there's some anticipation that maybe we'd get an announcement. They're just hanging on every word that will come out of the White House at this point.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of soybeans, we had that news yesterday about Argentina. Argentina lowering those taxes. They've lowered them before. They lowered them a few months ago, but they took them to zero, I believe.
Yeah.
Only way I could explain it, it's like every American farmer waking up and all their corn, beans, and wheat are worth 20 to 25% more. Is that the way you understand it, Mr. Wick?
Argentina's in a world of hurt as far as an economy, and they're trying to get some dollars pushed into their country. And so to do that, they're putting that export tax down to zero and try to generate some export business. And they got it. What, like 10 cargoes? China jumped in right
Mm-hmm.
away.
Mm-hmm.
What does that? I don't know if that's good or bad. Does that mean they're still buying at this point? I mean, does that some
Well,
optimism out of this if we could find any?
if there's only so many soybeans in the world, and at the point they go buy everything they can buy from a certain area. At this point, the greatest thing that could happen to world farmers is a production problem in South America, because China's buying everything they can there. If we had adverse weather, not that I wish that upon anyone, but if you want to know what it would take to get markets to go up, great demand, which we don't have from China, especially in the PNW. All these soybeans are horrible basis up north. It's not just up north like North Dakota. It's North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, the whole anything that could ship out. North, south, east, west. It's not good unless there's a crushing plant in your own backyard. With that, we need business, right? And what can make markets go up? Demand or a production problem, and that's what
Yeah.
that's might be what happened. So we have China, no China, with soybeans sold off 40 cents from their highs on Friday, from where soybeans were to where they ended up yesterday. And what else do we have? We day-to-day business, we're doing decent business, decent exports, Don. Things aren't bad. Spring wheat basis is picking up. Let's talk about spring wheat wrapping up, and then we'll ease over into uh, edible, edible crop two up there, but then
Yeah.
sugar beet harvest. So spring wheat's done. Uh, I heard that crop was decent up by you.
Yeah, and didn't see a lot of quality issues either, which I think there was some thought that may be an issue with some of the wet weather we've had this summer. But uh, decent wheat crop. We're now, like you said, taking out edible beans in this region. Canola's coming out. We're hearing some decent, some pretty good reports on canola. We're chopping silage. Kind of depends where you're at. Last few days, I've talked with farmers in that Aberdeen area of South Dakota, and then down in that Benson, Murdoch area of west central Minnesota, and they've just been saturated, too wet. Their crop certainly is below average at the very best. A lot of frustration because not only do you not have a price, then they don't have much of a crop either.
Yeah, it's real. It's a real problem. What are you hearing for bailouts? What are you hearing from these guys? You know any of these characters over here? Are they going to be able to send us any money, or what are they doing?
Well, those are the three that were just put into confirmed by the Senate. So they were the three undersecretaries that came on board. So Fordyce was in the Trump first administration, now leading the farm and foreign services area. So he oversees FSA. If we're going to do any bridge payment, it's going to have to come through Fordyce. So we'll see how that goes. The big challenge we have is we've got a government shutdown looming. If we don't get something done before the end of this month, the Commodity Credit Corporation runs out of funds, and that's where they would likely tap to get any bridge payments that would help farmers make their cushion through the end of this year and into 26 when the big beautiful bill funding would finally kick in. So, that shutdown. There was potentially a meeting between Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and the president. That was the talk yesterday. This morning, Trump was on Truth Social once again and said there wasn't going to be anything productive happening in a meeting like that, so he canceled it. But we don't. The Congress was not able to get anything done in the Senate. Then they recessed. Of course, Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish holiday going on this week, they have to come back, I think, Monday or Tuesday of next week and try to get this thing wrapped up, or we've got a government shutdown happening.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time. I know it sounds like really scary and bad. It is bad for agriculture in the sense that it screws up our government reports. But I used to get all excited. Oh my God, the government's going to shut down, sell the stock market. Like I've seen this so many damn times. It
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't end up being the
I
end of
just
the
got a
world.
news release from Dusty Johnson, a congressman out of South Dakota. He's got a bill along with the senator out of Wisconsin, also named Johnson, talking about let's get rid of these threats of a shutdown and just have it so if we don't have everything wrapped up, we'd have an automatic 2-week renewal of a continuing resolution. I'm not sure if that'd get any traction, but that's I just got that news release before we got on camera.
So that's breaking news. Mr. Don Wick with breaking news. Repeat that one more time. The proposal is big bad shutdown, maybe not so much.
He's got a proposal, a bill anyway, that would prevent this talk of a shutdown, and we would have an automatic renewal of a continuing resolution at current levels. It would go for 2 weeks. If they don't have anything done, it would renew for another 2 weeks and continuing on that path. I'm not sure if that gives any leverage to lawmakers to get anything done, but that's at least a bill that's being introduced at this point.
That's interesting. All right. Well, with that, we got grain markets, which typically hit a seasonal low. I wanted to ask you about sugar beet harvest. That's starting up in the Red River Valley right now, and we've done the pre-lift here the last few weeks.
Yeah, and I think really throughout the region, American Crystal, Mindac, and Southern Min, they've all made good progress with their pre-pile harvest. We got say about 10, 11% of that beet harvest wrapped up at this point. Southern Min has had some weather challenges just because it's been too wet in that area, but we're hearing some good things as far as the tonnage with American Crystal, particularly more to the northern area of the valley. But we're not looking at a really good sugar price here at the end of the year. So a little frustration, I think, what's going to be with that beet payment.
Yeah, well, let's talk about prices real quick. I talked to a client this morning. And he said, "Holy cow! He grew wheats, he grew edibles, he has sugar beets, he has a little bit of corn." He said, "There's not one of these things that's even remotely profitable." And with all that, you got to go back to the bank and renew operating. Let's talk about interest rates. Last week, the Fed lowered interest rates. The Fed's out on the tape today talking, moving the stock market a little bit, but interest rates went down a little. It's going to help, but they need to go down a lot. Is that correct? To stimulate the housing market and help farmers be able to borrow money at a discount.
The indication was at that Fed meeting, though, maybe another 2 interest rate cuts before the end of the year. So we're pushing in towards the end of the year, so that'll have to happen relatively soon.
Yeah, and just the other day, stock market was at all-time highs. Stock market selling off here recently, but that was just on some Jay Powell comments, etc. It's extremely interesting. I want to end the show. I was just thinking of something. I'm seeing my board over there moving. I think I did some trading while we're doing this, but gold hit record highs in gold again. And yesterday I was on Chip Flory's show. He said, "What do you make of the gold market?" And really, the only honestly thing I could say is people want to own it. Like they want to own gold. And I noticed Bitcoin quit going up. Bitcoin's at 110, 112, 115,000. But gold has absolutely stolen the show. And its cousin, silver market, 44, 45, $46 silver. I was telling Chip, I own some silver, but don't break in my house. It's not that much. I think I'm going to sell it, Don. I don't know if you're one of these old timers who collected coins or bars of gold or silver. At some point, when do you take a profit and just say, "Hey, that was fun"?
Yeah, might as well get it out of the home safe and send it somewhere, right?
Send it. I'll Venmo you the money. Mr. Don Wick with the Red River Farm Network. How do people sign up for your weekly letter, sir?
We have a weekly newsletter. FarmNet News goes out every Monday. You can drop me an email, don@rrfn.com, or go to that website, rrfn.com.
Speaking of websites, damn it, you set me up real good there. I got a new website, www.agbull.com. With that, we got our own little package out. Everybody's selling something, but some people don't want a futures and options account, Don. They just want to pay for information. And as you know, media is changing, and people want good quality information. They get text alerts, they get audio alerts, they get special content, and we're having some success. We've had some people sign up, and we're
That's
meeting
awesome.
new friends along the way. Yeah, and it's just that easy. People are like, "Why would you sell information?" Some people don't want a futures and options account. And typically, when you open a futures and options account, the information showed up. And I'm just thinking, you know what? Some people just want to be in that flow. Hey, when are people selling cash grain? What's going on? What's your weather guy saying? What's your cattle expert saying? What are your political correspondents like Wick and Wiesmeyer saying? And not that you're just politics. I mean, you're all encompassing, but we're bringing experts. You're an expert up in the north. I don't think anybody knows North Dakota, South Dakota, Canada, Minnesota as well as you do. So
Information's a pretty big commodity. That's good value that you have for folks.
yeah, but they want today's information today. They don't want a recap of what happened yesterday. You know what I mean, Mr. Wick?
Yeah, exactly.
And you're still in that business because I can see the bags in your eyes. You get up how early every morning?
3:00.
3:00, which means doing this video today is keeping you up. Mr. Don Wick coming to us. I'll show you where that guy's coming from. I got a little map of it. Oh, this is just a beauty here. Look at these graphics. Mr. Don Wick. Well, he's not quite in Mayville, but he's real close. Mr. Don Wick, Red River Farm Network. Click like and subscribe to his content. Click like and subscribe to my content. Just keep that pretty face. I'm looking for the button with that. Thank you, folks. Please, it helps if you follow our podcast on Apple, Spotify. Go to YouTube. You could watch this audio, video, however the hell you like it. We're doing it several times a week. See you, Don.
Thanks, Tommy.